Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 31 of Shattered Image, and this one is titled Calling in the Expert. It was really nice having Sero there. He was just so dependable, and you knew that if anything did turn sour, then he would be by your side regardless. You started to feel all kinds of emotions at that point. Anger at your dad for not telling you more about your quirk and why you were this way. Despondency at how your mum must be feeling in this moment and how you wish that you could be a better person for her. And eternal gratitude for Sero, being your rock. But with all of these intense emotions swelling inside of you, you just didn't know how to manage all of them, so clutched into him and screamed, your fingers trembling as you released your inner feelings vocally against his chest. Sero just seemed to have understood what was happening and clutched onto you harder, refusing to let you go while you vented into him. It just felt so right. Nothing felt better in this moment. Once you had finished, you pulled back from Sero and he looked at you. "Do you feel any better?" he asked. "Yeah, kinda," you replied, not looking at him. "Do my folks know about this?" you asked him, knowing he wouldn't have the answer to your question, but needing to ask it anyway. I really don't know." He shrugged. "But they'll find out sooner or later." "Yeah," you sighed. Just then another white-cloaked man entered the room and you looked up. "Hello, Yin. How are you? We're going to take you for some more tests now," he said. "Would you mind coming with me?" You nodded and got off the bed. No fighting, no resistance, no nothing. You knew that you needed to cooperate if you wanted to firstly get out of here, but secondly continue to have a life outside of jail. You walked after this man meekly, with Sero following behind you, and he noted that this was the first time that you had just followed and not asked any questions. "Has this broken her?" he wondered, watching you closely. The man took you to a room and gestured for you to enter. "We have to stay out here, but head inside and you'll be given instructions soon," he said. Sero nervously watched you walk into the room, and then he and the cloaked male walked into an observation room adjacent where they could see what was going on in your room. What test is this?" Sero asked the man. "It's a Quirk comprehension test. We do this test for those who have mind-related quirks to work out their parameters," he said. "Most of the time people already have an idea of what their quirks are capable of doing and know their limitations and weaknesses. But since there is no record of Yin's quirk, nor does she understand how to use her own quirk, we will need to put her through the full test so that we can get a better understanding," he said. "Oh, okay, I see," Sero replied. "You can have a seat here," the man offered, gesturing to a chair nearby. "Oh, thank you," Sero said, watching through the window to where you were standing in a white padded room. Just then, instructions came on over the speaker overhead, telling you to look directly at a screen straight ahead and activate your quirk. The instructions said to hold your quirk in an active state for as long as you could, and that the screen would measure the output of your quirk and determine a few things. The instructions then asked for you to prepare and engage when ready. You looked at the screen ahead, and then all of a sudden it glowed blue, the machines inside the observation room jumping to life and spitting out data like you wouldn't believe. Sero watched the man click buttons and watched graphs, and the black-haired classmate marvelled at how this man could understand everything that was going on. Sero kept one eye on you though, watching while you remained staring into the screen. "She usually just quirks and then backs off. She's never concentrated this hard before," he thought as he watched you. Suddenly you started to tremble, your face contorting before the screen shut off and you collapsed to the padded floor. "She's hurt," Sero said, getting up out of the chair and placing one hand on the glass that separated you two. "Hold on," the man said. "She's okay. We're only on stage 1. He pressed a button and a loud buzzer sounded, waking you back up immediately. Surprised, you got up and looked around, seeming confused for a second. Then a different voice came on over the speaker and Sero looked up and around. He recognised that voice. "Come on, you down already?" the voice taunted. "Is that Bakugo?" Sero asked himself, listening to the voice taunt you. "Oh, so you want to go again, do you?" you suddenly exploded, recognising the voice as well, but being a little out of it so you didn't quite understand that Bakugo wasn't actually in the room with you. Suddenly a dummy popped up out of the ground and the voice of Bakugo cackled through the speaker. "Come on, mirror freak, come and take me down," he called. You immediately launched an assault on the dummy, tackling it to the ground and punching it over and over again, the grin on your face growing with every hit. More data was being run through the screen in front of the man beside Sero, and again the classmate glanced across but couldn't work out what was going on. This kind of thing went on for at least an hour, with you being challenged in different ways until you actually did pass out and couldn't get back up again. Then you were picked up by some others in white who came in through a side door, and you were placed on a stretcher and then wheeled from the room. Wait, where are they taking her? Sero asked with concern. She'll be having another MRI, post-Quirk usage, to determine the areas in her brain that are lit up. This is crucial, the man said. It looks so cruel though, Sero said sadly. It may look that way, but this is all very important to learn about Yin's quirk and about her as a person. I think Hero Eraserhead will be pleased with the results, the man said. Sero still didn't like how things had panned out for you, but he trusted his teacher and knew it was Aizawa who had ordered it and that it was necessary, including somehow getting Bakugo to throw taunting lines. When can I see her? Sero asked the man, fretting a little. I will show you back to her room, and you may wait there until she arrives, the man said kindly. She should be back within the hour. I see, Sero said as he left the observation room with the man and headed back to your room to wait for you. While this was all going on in the hospital, Aizawa had gone back to the school to keep searching for someone he wished to find. Something is not right here, he thought as he scoured the database of registered quirks for your father. There are a number of men here with the same birthday as Yin's father, but his name is not here. There are a few with supposed mind mirror maze quirks, but again, they all have different surnames and are mostly deceased. There are only 2 that are still alive, so maybe I should visit them to see if they have any connection, he thought, before scowling and using his fingers to rub his eyes in a pinched motion, going over the bridge of his nose. This is all getting too convoluted, and I don't have time, he also thought. Hey, Namiri greeted as she entered the staff room and saw Aizawa sitting there. You've been at that desk all day, don't you have classes to teach? I'm on an important case, so I asked Tazashi to take over for me, he replied to her, glancing at her as she sat down at her own desk. Although, this case is taking more time than I expected. What's it on? Namiri asked. I'm not at liberty to say, Aizawa replied curtly. Okay, but are you trying to find someone? Because if you are, Hawks is the best person to ask. He can find anyone, she said. If it's paperwork, you're on your own. Thank you, Aizawa suddenly said after a long pause, standing up purposefully. I'll be back. Oh, did I help? Namiri asked. You're welcome, she shouted after the sullen teacher as he left the staff room hurriedly. Namiri shook her head. Funny guy, she thought. It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't a particularly important mission, but he's made it important because to him it is. He's funny that way. And with that, she looked back down at her laptop in front of her and started typing up lessons for the next week. Hey, Hawk stands rejoice. We'll be getting to see a bit of Hawksy soon. I'll see you all tomorrow. Yes, it is tomorrow. For the next chapter 32. I'll see you then.